Republican candidate for Vice President of the United States, JD Vance, has taken to the stage at Madison Square Garden, and the crowd roared when the senator from Ohio began speaking. Just watch what happened when he mentioned his opponent, Tim Walz.
What's up, man?
Sounds like everyone in the crowd is across Tim Walz's genius idea of putting tampons in boys' bathrooms. But JD Vance absolutely owned his speech. He spoke about Tim Walz and Kamala Harris, and what you'll notice is it's not in the same way the Democrats have been speaking in this election campaign, not even close, because in the last few days, the Democrats have ramped up their attacks in the most ugly way. So JD Vance has taken the opposite approach, which is so refreshing to hear and to listen to. How's this? He asked everyone in the arena to pray for Tim Walz. Take a listen.
Our friend Tim Walz has got to convince the American people that Kamala Harris is going to somehow fix the very problems she's been creating over the last 3.5 years. He's got to pretend that Kamala Harris didn't open up the southern border and let millions of illegal aliens in, even though we know she did. He's got to pretend that Kamala Harris didn't cast the deciding vote on trillions of dollars of new spending, which created the worst affordability crisis in 40 years in this country. And he's got to pretend that Kamala Harris actually has ideas in her head for how to govern the United States of America. Now, if you are the praying type, and I imagine a lot of us are, please say a prayer for Tim Walz, because they're asking him to do the impossible. Kamala Harris acts like she's the candidate of change when she's been in office for 4 years. She says she can fix everything, but Kamala, day one was 1,400 days ago. What the hell have you been doing that whole time?
Unfortunately for Kamala Harris, he makes points that are hard to argue with. The big one is exposing her lie that her campaign is based on change, which simply makes no sense for someone who's been in office for 4 years. And the American people have figured that out. Now, JD Vance wrapped up his speech, and according to reporters on the ground, he had everyone in the arena standing up on their feet as they cheered for him.
When they couldn't beat him, they tried to bankrupt him. When that didn't work, they tried to impeach him. When that didn't work, they tried to put him in federal prison. And when that didn't work, they even tried to kill him. But as sure as the American flag still waves, Donald Trump still stands, ready to fight, ready to win, and ready to make America great again. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Let's do it.
Now let's compare that to former First Lady Michelle Obama's comments over the weekend, where she admitted she's frustrated, essentially because Kamala Harris has been performing so badly.
So I hope you'll forgive me if I'm a little frustrated that some of us are choosing to ignore Donald Trump's gross incompetence while asking Kamala to dazzle us at every turn. I hope that you'll forgive me if I'm a little angry that we are indifferent to his erratic behavior, his obvious mental decline, his history as a convicted felon, a known slumlord, a predator found liable for sexual abuse. All of this while we pick apart Kamala's answers from interviews that he doesn't even have the courage to do, y'all.
The hypocrisy is absolutely wild. Donald Trump isn't perfect. Of course he has flaws, but trying to claim that he has signs of cognitive decline and that he doesn't have courage, now that is laughable. You don't have to be a Donald Trump supporter to know that that is wildly untrue. Let's leave Michelle Obama's comments there and let's go back to Madison Square Garden in New York, where we saw Tucker Carlson, Dr. Phil, Elon Musk and Melania Trump also take to the stage before the man himself, Republican candidate Donald J. Trump, addressed the crowd, starting with a very simple question before promising that if he's elected, America will have a new golden age.
And I'd like to begin by asking a very simple question. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? I'm here today with a message of hope for all Americans. With your vote, in this election, I will end inflation. I will stop the invasion of criminals coming into our country. And I will bring back the American dream. We need the American dream to come back home. Our country will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than ever before. This election is a choice between whether we will have 4 more years of gross incompetence and failure, or whether we will begin the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. We will achieve success that no one can imagine. We will have the strongest economy, the most secure borders, the safest cities, the most powerful military, the best trade deals, and we will dominate the frontiers of science, medicine, business, technology, and space. And I'm asking you to be excited about the future of our country again. I'm asking you to dream big again. We're going to dream big again. We haven't been dreaming big at all. This will be America's new golden age. It's going to happen quickly, too, very quickly. Every problem facing us can be solved, but now the fate of our nation is in your hands. Next Tuesday, you have to stand up and you have to tell Kamala Harris that you've done a terrible job, that crooked Joe Biden has done a terrible job. You've destroyed our country. We're not going to take it anymore. Kamala, you're fired. Get out. Get out. You're fired. Early voting is underway in every swing state, and we are setting all-time records. They're voting, I tell you what. I don't want to talk about it, but we have to keep it going. You got to get out and vote. We just have to get out. And who would have thought this was going to happen? We're leading in every swing state. But it doesn't mean a thing. It only means how are we doing at the end. So look, we have 9 days from now, and we're going to defeat Kamala Harris, and we're going to win back the beautiful White House, and we're going to make America great again, and it's going to happen fast.